Today, 4 days after that deadly stampede in Karur that killed 41 people, Vijay finally broke his silence. And he didn't just speak about what happened, he also spoke about the politics around it. In a 4-minute 45-second video message posted by his party, Vijay said that he was pained at what had happened but didn't visit the victims only because he did not want something untoward to recur. As for the arrest of 2 of his party functionaries who were responsible for making arrangements for the rally, Vijay today challenged the Chief Minister. He said, "If you want, come for me. If you want vendetta, target me. But leave my cadre alone. Leave my party men alone." And this is where things got interesting. Without naming anyone, the TVK chief questioned why his rallies had not faced any problems in any of the other districts he had visited, but only in Karur, insinuating a conspiracy exactly like members of his party have. Listen in.
என் லைஃப்பில் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பெயின்ஃபுல்லான ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷனை நான் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணதே கிடையாது. மனசு முழுக்க வலி மட்டும்தான். இந்த சுற்றுப்பயணத்தில் என்னென்ன மக்கள் பார்க்க வராங்க, அதுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு காரணம் தான் அவங்க என் மேலே வச்சிருக்கிற அன்பும் பாசம். அந்த அன்புக்கும் பாசத்துக்கும் நான் எப்பவும் கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். சிஎம் சார், உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது இந்த பழி வாங்கணும் அப்படின்ற எண்ணம் ஏதாவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணுங்க. அவங்க மேலே கை வைக்காதீங்க. நான் ஒன்று வீட்டில் இருப்பேன், இல்லை நான் ஆஃபீஸில் இருப்பேன். என்ன வேணாலும் செய்யுங்க. கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 5 மாவட்டத்துக்கு பிரச்சாரத்துக்கு போகணும். இந்த மாதிரி எதுவுமே நடக்கலாம். ஆனால் கரூரில் மட்டும் ஏன் எப்படி நடக்குது, எப்படி நடக்குது? மக்களுக்கு எல்லா உண்மையும் தெரியும். மக்கள் எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. கரூரை சேர்ந்த அந்த மக்கள் அந்த உண்மையெல்லாம் வெளியில் சொல்லும்போது எனக்கு கடவுளே நேரில் வந்து இறங்கி அந்த உண்மைகள்லாம் சொல்கிற மாதிரி எனக்கு தோணுச்சு.
So is there really a conspiracy? The DMK has strongly refuted the suggestion, even as it treads very carefully in the action taken so far against the newly minted politician. Today in a press conference, Tamil Nadu government officials actually denied that they ever cut power supply to Vijay's rally or that there was any lathi charge conducted on the gathering. They in fact again accused the actor of making terrible arrangements and assembling a crowd that was far in excess of what he had projected. Leaders of the NDA and Congress too, meanwhile, today met with victims and even kept their reactions extremely measured. But in the middle of all this, even as there was politics, even as there were demands for a central probe, remember, Vijay has already gone to court, his party has already gone to court seeking a CBI probe. Today, the NDA delegation also said that there were a lot of things that seemed very messy, they seemed very mysterious, and perhaps a sitting judge of the Supreme Court should supervise an investigation into what really happened. But in the middle of all this, another twist emerged when one of the stampede survivors narrated how someone in the crowd in Karur, in the middle of that rally of Vijay, had knifed her as the commotion started.
This is one complaint from lot of general public. After the commotion started, some miscreants used a knife. And they were opposite side. Miscreants were trying to create wound for people. Randomly they were doing this.
Where was she standing?
Akka neenga enga ninninga?
Naanga indha ditch la vilundom.
Akka fell into the ditch.
Opposite la எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச பையன் ஃப்ரெண்டுங்க 4 பேர் கையில கிழிச்சு ஜீகத்துல தான் இருக்காங்க.
So 4 people here, friends who were on the opposite side, somebody tore into their hands by using knife, some miscreants.
அப்புறம் ஸ்கூல் பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு ஒரு 3 பிள்ளைங்க கை உடைஞ்சிச்சு. என் பாப்பாவோட கிளாஸ்.
So the question now is, what really happened at Karur? Did Vijay's mismanagement lead to 41 deaths, or was there more to this than meets the eye? Because now you have 3 different accounts that allege some kind of conspiracy. The first is hinted at by Vijay. The second is narrated by a Stampede survivor, and the third is recorded in anticipatory bail plea filed by TVK General Secretary Basi Anand and Joint General Secretary Nirmal Kumar. The bail plea says that on the 26th of September in the afternoon, when the crowd increased, some gundas entered and mixed with the crowd and had thrown chappals at Vijay. Then it goes on to say that an ambulance without a patient inside was driven into the crowd, causing a stampede. The question has been asked about why the police allowed this ambulance to enter such a cramped place, causing panic. Pre-planned gundas, TVK has alleged, was also in the crowd who utilized the situation and caused injury using a weapon. Now, the demands have grown even shriller about a probe by an agency other than the state police.
Setting conditions for rallies, which is a usual practice even for the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister, is seen as a conspiracy against TVK, and it continues so on. It is this attitude of the TVK cadres and the leadership themselves is the reason why such an event happened at first place. I think TVK and the people should stop doing cheap politics out of a strategy.
I think there should be suspension of local district officials also. They should be held accountable who have given permissions and not made adequate arrangements. Why aren't they suspended? Why are DMK government sheltering their officials? It clearly shows that they were hand in glove. They should be held responsible for that, and we want a free and fair probe by a sitting Supreme Court judge.
BJP nominated a committee to find facts in the tragedy of Karur. This is not a fair one. They started their political play in Tamil Nadu politics, so that I request Sri Rahul Gandhi to intervene in this issue immediately. The Congress also has to appoint a committee to find fact in this tragedy. This is very essential and immediate need of the hour. This is my request to Sri Rahul Gandhi.
And now with this new twist to the tragedy, the DMK has lashed out at Vijay for diversion and distraction. That brings us to the big questions on which the buck stops here. Was there really a conspiracy behind the killer stampede in Karur? Who were these miscreants who allegedly attacked the gathered people with sharp weapons? Or is all of this being floated now only to divert attention from what really happened, from the TVK's own killer negligence? Joining us on the debate, we have Vijay Dharani, ex-MLA and leader of the BJP, Sriram Shishadri, political analyst, People Rao, political analyst who's a supporter of the TVK, and Nikhil Jain, political analyst, is also here with us. But my first question is to you, Dr. V. Kalanidhi, Member of Parliament of the DMK. Very, very serious charges being levelled here. That there were goons in the crowd, that there were people who deliberately stabbed the bystanders with a sharp weapon that led to a stampede. What do you make of this?
I will answer the allegations one by one. So the first allegation is that there was somebody who was wielding a knife who had attacked people. So let me tell you about my experience in crowds when we go for party rallies or something like that. There are always miscreants who are not any politically affiliated people who see this as an opportunity where they will try to see if they can steal something off gullible people. And when they're talking about a knife, they do not use it to harm people. They generally try to rip your pocket or rip your bag and take it away. And I myself, when attending rallies, I had experience where I had lost my mobile phone, I had lost my wallet. And these things do happen when you are seeing a huge crowd, an unruly crowd. All these things, because when you're in a crowd where jostling and pushing and shoving is happening, you will not be able to make out if the next person is trying to take something out of your pocket or rip something away from your belongings. So that is one. And about your allegation about the empty ambulance, you have to understand that when there is an ambulance deployed, there are 2 stages. One where the ambulance is empty, and then next when it is occupied by a patient who has to go to the hospital. So here we are talking about a situation where even before Vijay reached the spot, you have to understand that these people had started gathering from 10 a.m. in the morning because TVK had made a statement saying that the meeting will be at 12 o'clock when Vijay will be visiting the spot.
Okay.
So you are talking about a situation where 10 o'clock in the morning people started gathering and the crowd was manageable till about 1 o'clock in the morning, afternoon. But subsequently, even after he had reached Karur, he took about 4 hours to reach the meeting spot and he brought along 10,000 people along with him in two-wheelers who also joined this crowd.
So you're saying this was bad crowd management and all of these allegations are just a fig leaf? Are you categorically saying that each one of them, and I want to list them out for you, sir, because for the benefit of our viewers,
Can I clarify about your ambulance
number, just a second, sir. Let me just list out for our viewers what are the specific allegations of either sabotage or conspiracy being leveled right now. First, that there were goons who were mingled with the crowd. Second, that there were people who were armed with sharp weapons. They were in the crowd. First, they threw slippers at Vijay as soon as he started his speech. Then, after that, an ambulance without any patient was driven into the crowd. The argument being made is there is a side lane. Why was this ambulance driven through the crowd, creating further panic? When this happened, there were people who were panicking and that led to the stampede. Then they go on to say that there was a power cut just 5 minutes after Vijay started his speech. There was a sense of uncertainty. People didn't understand what was going on. Just 5 minutes into Vijay's speech, that power cut happened, and finally there was a sharp weapon that was used by some of these miscreants which caused injury to the crowd. All of these you are categorically denying, Dr. Kalanidhi.
Yes, I am, and if you are not going to be repeating these allegations again and again, if you allow me to answer them point by point,
yes,
I can do that. If you want to take another break and start off all these points again, feel free to do so. I will keep quiet and I will keep listening to whatever you have to say.
Saying there were no miscreants. Why I'm asking you this is because this has also been corroborated by a lady, by a survivor who was there in that crowd.
So going by the statement, you mean to say that we can just go by whoever is saying and we do not need to have an inquiry because the amount of coverage this has is one of the largest because the number of video coverages, drone coverages, all those things are there. Don't you think that it is necessary for an inquiry to happen and instead of going baselessly by somebody who is making a statement, you mean to say that a person making a statement has more validity than an investigation being conducted? I'm surprised. I mean, because you were not there. I don't know if you watched that whole incident. I did. I watched the whole incident, what happened. You are talking about slippers being thrown. Show me the video where the slippers, you are saying slippers. You make it sound as if like hundreds of slippers were thrown at him.
No, I'm not saying that at all. No, this is actually said in the anticipatory bail petition. That's my limited point.
Can I just speak?
Yes.
There were several flags of PVK party which were thrown onto the bus wherever Vijay was standing, and one object was something which was different. And that is a point where there were a lot of people who were swooning and falling down, and the stampede was happening around over there. And at that point in time, you can even see Vijay. I don't know if you watched the footage of this whole meeting. He was offering, saying there is a woman who has swooned over there. Give us some water, and he started throwing water bottles over there. And so you have to understand that dehydration, hunger, hypoglycemia, standing over there for about 8 hours or 9 hours, you do not know how it will affect children, how it will affect human beings who are having problems. The number of children who have died over there, and you're talking about empty ambulances coming. How do you think an ambulance will reach a spot to take out a person who is swooned and fallen?
Okay, all good points. Ms. Vijay, answer this. Are you going to go by... Just a second. Let the BJP respond to this because they have taken up these particular allegations to ask for a central probe. Vijay Dharani, the DMK says very clearly they have got it all on camera. There were drones flying there, and yet just a few allegations and one person's testimony cannot be taken as example of a conspiracy.
See, particularly, first of all, I wanted to say that we are with the people of Karur and we are with the people who have been there suffering and the victims' families. We are with the families, and BJP as a party has always been with the people, and now it is a situation that they are trying to say that just because the committee of the BJP and various other parties in the committee participating have come here to see the real situation that is happening that has happened in Karur and to make an inquiry into it. Everybody has a right to do that. All political parties has a right to do
Ms.
that.
Vijay Dharani, are you standing by the allegation? Because several of your leaders in Tamil Nadu have said that these are serious allegations of conspiracy and they must be investigated by a central agency. Are you standing by that charge? Where is the evidence for it?
There is no second thought about it, because there are a lot of voices that have come up from the people who were there, who were part of the crowd, and who have also been part of the stampede, who are survivors. They have given clear evidence that they are also eyewitnesses, and there are also maybe there are some videos also that may come up in the future. We do not know.
Dr. Kalanidhi is saying that they have carried out a full investigation. In fact, a point-by-point rebuttal was given to all of these conspiracy theories by the administration today. I want to point out what both sides of the story is as of today. So what are the, hold on a second, and it's important to put these facts out there. What are the conspiracy theories as of right now, and what is the rebuttal on part of the government? First was, it was said that an ambulance was driven right into the crowd. Today in that press conference, the Tamil Nadu government said this ambulance actually came with Vijay's convoy. It was a part of his convoy. The second thing that they said was enough police wasn't stationed. The bandobast was done according to the estimated crowd that TVK had given, which is for about 10,000 people, and there was a good ratio of policemen is to people over there. The third point was that a power cut took place 5 minutes into Vijay's speech. The government has said no such power cut took place. In fact, the electricity board has also confirmed it to them. The police conducted a lathi charge without cause, leading to panic. The lathi charge, according to the cops, happened right at the beginning, even before Vijay went on stage, and Vijay actually, when he reached the dais, thanked the police for controlling the crowd and allowing him to enter. So I ask you again, ma'am, because this shouldn't be reduced to politics. Are you sure that there is some kind of conspiracy at play?
Definitely there is, Padmaja, there is a clear-cut conspiracy that is prevailing. The TVK as well as the DMK is alleging one another. DMK is a ruling party and it is in control of the police here, and one-man commission appointed is of no avail. And very important is the TVK has made some conspiracy claims and DMK is making all counterclaims, and therefore these two problems have to be brought to an end. A common agency, a superior agency like the Central Bureau of Investigation has to investigate the matter.
Dr. Kalanidhi, a CBI investigation, will that remove all doubts?
Not within the state police.
Dr. Kalanidhi.
See, the decision for a CBI investigation is something which our Honorable Chief Minister has to decide, and probably the Union government may have to decide, or the court has to decide. So this is one thing I will tell you about. You are talking about allegations of conspiracy theories. If you had watched that Vijay's rally speech, you will notice at one point he will ask his cadres to make space for the ambulance to help a swooned fainted lady to be taken on to the ambulance. And he would have told that the people are falling down, and in fact he was instructed that people are swooning and falling, so finish your speech fast and let us get out of here. So this is exactly what happened over there. And whatever allegations Madam Vijay Dharani is making, she is saying that the state government officials, like the bureaucrats, like the district collector and the SP, police, all are in cahoots with DMK, and they have gone against the people and they have perpetrated this crime of murder of 40 people. I find that unacceptable. I mean, like, I think no decent human being will want some suffering like this to ever happen. To even imagine that somebody can come out with an allegation saying that they wanted to create. See, I can understand whenever there is a mob, a huge crowd, things can go wrong. But the amount of accusation.
I see. It's a clear case. The DMK is the ruling party and they are in control of the police. Whatever that is, no proper place is given, no proper police strength is given, and there are allegations that the knives were used by antisocial elements, and there are a lot of things that has happened.
Okay, but that can be put down to mismanagement, Sriram Sheshadri. But can there really be a suggestion that this was a conspiracy? I ask you again.
can I intervene? Going by that logic, can you assume that everything that is happening in Manipur is because of the union government's failure, because they are the ones who are ruling over there? All the murders and deaths which are happening over there, would you attribute it to the BJP government? Of course not. It is riots happening over there. The same way there are some miscreants who have created some trouble, and the poor planning. See, whenever a political party is holding a rally, we know how much of crowd is going to be coming, and then we decide where the party should have that meeting. If we expect a crowd of 1 lakh or more, we have it outside in the outskirts of the city. So TVK, being a fledgling party, has no clue about what kind of crowds will be coming. They did not have any anticipation. The state government, in fact, informed them saying that the crowd is going to be huge over here. Kindly cancel this program, and they refused to do that.
Sriram Sheshadri, did the heat get too much for the TVK? That's why they dragged in the conspiracy angle. And is the BJP now cottoning on to that for its own politics, as the DMK is suggesting? Is this conspiracy or merely a conspiracy theory?
Good evening, Padmajan. Good evening, my fellow panelists. First of all, the possibility of conspiracy exists, and this is where the government should come clean on this. I'll tell you 2-3 reasons why. Okay, thanks to Dr. Kalani, the good friend, who agreed that, he did not refute the possibility of miscreants in the crowd. At least, otherwise, this should have gone to a different discussion. Flip-flop statement from initially there were, it's a government statement saying that no power was cut, or rather the power cut was requested by TVK. Now there is a statement saying that no power was cut. And we all know what happened there. See, even in EPS rallies, Edappadi Palaniswamy rallies, this empty ambulance flying through, we have seen these things in the past. So there is a possibility that, the conspiracy theory is being played by Vijay, possibly is there. Crowd management is a police issue. More importantly, when 10,000 people is requested for, it's an open space. And they have seen multiple rallies of Vijay in the last 2-3 weeks. And they should have given either a different place for them. They should have insisted on it. Or if there is more than 10,000 people coming there, the intelligence failure, they should have stopped. And they have done that in the past. Several governments have done this in the past on preventing overcrowding. And some of the YouTubers have been arrested today for leveling the same charge of conspiracy. Ideally, the government should have gone and asked for a proof from them rather than silencing the media. I feel Vijay's fault is being no-voice politician. He just ran away. Instead, he should have stood there and then, stood with the people. And in spite of, even if he gets arrested, he should have stood with the people. Coming to the question, Padmaja, where you started, is BJP batting for Vijay? For your information, I think BJP was equally bashed by Vijay in all his rallies. He was just taking on DMK as well as BJP. Even just before coming to Karur, in Namakkal, a previous rally just in the morning that happened, he was taking on BJP. He was saying why ADMK is aligning openly with BJP. He said DMK is secretly aligning with BJP.
He may have been taking on the BJP, but the reason why I asked that is that first the TVK brings up the conspiracy angle, and then you have the BJP in a way supporting that angle as well, leading people to ask, is there some kind of shadow boxing happening here behind the scenes?
Absolutely. Because, when they send the team and then when they hear all these complaints that have been raised, you played the video where Annamalai was translating to the central committee that had come. Naturally, as a political party, they are talking about possibility of a conspiracy being there.
Okay, Nikhil Jain, can that be completely discounted? Look, it's one thing for the TVK to make these allegations, but again, I reiterate, what possible motive could this Stampede survivor have to come out in the open and say there were 12 of us and all of us were in some way stabbed or slashed by unknown people in the crowd? Because this turns the entire incident on its head, that this was engineered.
No, but when the survivor says that she encountered people with knives and people who were stabbing, and you have Dr. Kalanidhi from the DMK himself accepting that in a lot of rallies you do have miscreants, and that is my personal experience as well. I think anybody who's been part of a political rally or has covered political rally can very clearly tell that you have miscreants, people who are trying to pickpocket, somebody who tried to eve tease a woman, somebody who tried to misbehave with somebody. But the presence of mere miscreants does not imply that there was any conspiracy. See, let's understand this one thing very clearly, that whenever a stampede like this, an incident like this happens anywhere, two people always end up with egg on their face. One are the organizers, and two are the law and order machinery. In this case, it is the TVK and the DMK. For me to assume, or for anybody to assume, that either of these two parties deliberately wanted such an incident to happen, I think that'd be stupid at best. I don't think the DMK would ever have an intention that such an unfortunate incident should happen. I don't think TVK or Vijay would ever have an intention that something so unfortunate should happen. I don't think anybody wanted it. It was absolute gross mismanagement. What I would expect in this case from the TVK is to own up to their mistake. Yes, boss, we were not able to organize it well. We mismanaged, we screwed up, and we apologize. What I expect from the DMK government is for them to inquire into the matter, that did their police and local administration fall short? Is there any head which needs to roll? Is there any DM, divisional commissioner, chief secretary, whoever it is that needs to be suspended? And for that, what I see is that the DMK has set up an inquiry commission. They are not just giving the inquiry to the state police, which obviously is one of the people that needs to be investigated in this. When there are allegations that the state police or the local administration
But can
did
there
not
be
do
trust
a good
in
enough
that
job?
investigation if there are two parties who are alleging that perhaps the same administration was involved in some kind of conspiracy to perpetuate this entire incident? It's just a question of lack of trust.
No, precisely my point, Padmaja, that the inquiry commission so set up is headed by a former High Court judge. It is not a police inquiry. It is not a district administration inquiry. That inquiry body is well competent to look into allegations against the DMK's local state administration as well as the TVK. What I expect
answer that. Vijay
now do
are
is
you
come
trying
and
to get your
apologize
own
that
brand
I
of politics
messed up
into
and I
this?
don't want
Already
it.
there is a single
And the
person
BJP
inquiry
sees a conspiracy
commission
every
which
day.
has been instituted, and yet you are there sowing seeds of doubt. Ms. Vijay Dharni.
Yes, Padmaja.
My question is, when already there is an inquiry commission underway, you have the DMK and the Congress asking you, what possible reason do you have to sow seeds of doubt?
See,
is this
now
not your own brand of politics? You're trying to basically get a few political brownie points in the midst of this tragedy.
Yeah, no. See, this tragedy is such a tragedy that nobody should be politicking on this. We are with the people.
But
That's
man,
what
you're being accused of politicking. You're being accused of calling it some large-scale conspiracy. You're being accused of fanning the conspiracy theories.
That is not true. That is not true, Padmaja. It is the witness, eyewitness, who is giving the statement there. You can see very well. And the eyewitness is very clear. If she is able to tell this here, she can even tell to the judge concerned. And it is all that the one-man commission, I don't know, so many one-man commissions were appointed in the past, in various cases in Tamil Nadu, but it is of no avail. Even Madam Jayalalitha's case, a one-man commission was appointed and it is of no avail. Nothing happened.
Okay.
And
Dr. Kalanidhi, it's not just Vijay Dharani, the BJP, the TVK saying this. Plenty of social media chatter about this as well. And like Sriram Sheshadri said, when people raise these questions, you said they are fueling rumors and you jail them. Shouldn't you have investigated it? Shouldn't you have asked them for proof instead of giving the impression that you're silencing anyone who asks a question?
See, throwing ask questions is one thing, and now Ms. Vijay Dharani is already thrown an ask question against the next High Court judge who has been commissioned to inquire into this issue. The person who has been set up for this is Mr. Arna Jagdishan, Justice Arna Jagdishan, who is reputed and who has had a very good standing in his professional career as a legal luminary. And to throw ask questions on people like this is actually very, very sad. And also when you're talking about the media, the YouTube channels are places where they are spewing a lot of aspersions and allegations when there is a commission which has been set up. See, when there is a commission which is being set up and the matter is sub judice, to throw allegations and ask questions is something which is illegal. You see, why do not the mainstream media throw about these allegations? They only have discussions. See, you are having now people where you call people from both sides. So you can have both sides of the story where we can explain. I have explained to you about they are talking so much about this lady who alleged that there was somebody who came and cut their hands. So she could have very easily shown where she was cut. I mean, like, if that would have been another proof. See, not that I'm saying that if it had happened, that it was a DMK person. See, miscreant, like I said, and my other friend, Mr. Akbar, his name. So he had also mentioned that miscreants are bound to be there in huge rallies for their own personal benefit. But to allege that these were all DMK masterminded and they were there to sabotage this is something else. See, this is what we are trying to prove it again and again. And if you have seen that whole episode of Vijay's rally, it lasted for only about 20 or 25 minutes. I watched the whole thing, and he asked the people, requested the people over there to make way for the ambulance because there were people who had fallen fainting. So you are talking about empty ambulances. You do not know how they are going. And in fact, do you know that there is a report that 5 ambulance drivers were beaten up and relatives of those people who were waiting for those ambulances. They had said that they were delayed because of 2 hours, and that probably is one of the cause for death. And there are several video footages showing that PVK members beating up an ambulance driver. Do you think that is something which is acceptable?
See, I just believe that, nobody has created a situation where they want to kill 41 people. The question is the failure and then subsequently trying to guard the failures of the administration. I think that's where, TVK is spewing the conspiracy theory and they have been targeted. I think that is where, I want to say that, miscreants are going to be there in such crowd. And that's police's job to look at them, because the local police definitely know who are those miscreants and then prevent it. I'm absolutely fine that, there are going to be slippages. I'm not going to say that, 100% you can have a foolproof system where you can stop all the miscreants. But the question is, the inquiry should talk about it. Like, rumors are being spread. Absolutely, I agree with that. We should not create a tense situation, but present those people to the one person, one judge commission where they are asked to give the proof of whatever they committed. Otherwise, punish them too. That's a lesson that people should learn.
Okay, Dr. Kalanidhi, final word. If somebody is spreading rumors, you make an example of them. Else, at least you listen to their allegations with a patient ear and get to the bottom of the truth.
See, I have given you explanations for most of the allegations which have been leveled over here. And Mr. Sriram Sheshadri was going about saying that the local police should know about the miscreants. I will give you several instances where chief ministers, when they were going on a rally, they have been slapped. There are ministers who have been beaten up. You mean to say that the local police over there were hand in glove with the miscreant to create that kind of a problem? See, these are things which are beyond certain control. And now, see, I will tell you one thing, that we should take a lesson from this. When we are talking about crowd management, a political party should know what kind of a strength they are expecting and whether that particular place is adequate or not. See, as a party person from DMK, I have gone to several rallies where I have been a foot soldier. So when we go to these events, when it's a small crowd of 1,000, we will identify a place and accordingly place that. If it is a crowd of 10,000, you choose a place accordingly and then you decide on that. If it is a crowd of 1 lakh, then we go to a very big, large vacant land outside and the outskirts of the city, so that it does not create any problems for the population over there. And you spend money for leveling that area, setting up a dais, and he can come and speak for even 2 hours. Nobody is going to question that. But to create the numbers are very, very fluctuant. Some people are saying that the numbers were 27,000. Some people are saying that numbers are 60,000. See, we cannot sit over here on this TV channel, and none of us having visited the Karur site, we cannot talk about what the crowd was there, what happened exactly over there, and that is the exact reason why a commission has been constituted. And this commission should be allowed to do its job instead of doing a judgment on media. You see, we are all talking about, we can ask questions, but are we here to say that who is right or who is wrong?
Cover for the TVK, sir. Humbly, at least these people should be given a hearing to get to the bottom of all of their claims as well. Because if
the commission is there, these people can go and speak to the commission over there. They can give all their representations. They can give all their evidences, all their proofs. See, making an allegation is one thing, but giving proof, substantiating it with proof is something else.
Okay.
If I come on a news channel,
so, Ms. Vijay, if in addition to this lady you find any other survivor, any other eyewitness who has had similar experiences, something similar happened to them, please ensure that they go and depose in front of the commission, because every single claim of theirs should be investigated and it shouldn't be limited to politics and finger pointing alone. I have to end it at that. Thanks very much, gentlemen, Ms. Vijay Dharani, for having joined us.